This is my face all the time. And I bring it up because the way I look has always been so important to my self-esteem. Like, my mother's a beautiful woman, and she talks to me like I am also. She was getting ready for a family event a few years ago, and she turns to me, she's like, Lucas, you're only beautiful once. So, enjoy it. It's like, my mom didn't know how to raise a son, so she was like, I'll raise a trophy wife. And here I am. People love to tell me what I look like a lot because of the mirror shortage. And sometimes it's fun. Like, I was walking in Manhattan, and a man saw me, and he just shouted, not another Spider-Man. I was like, no promises, you know? They're gonna run out of people. Sometimes it isn't always clear that it's a compliment, though. Like, a friend of mine told me I look like the lead character in the Netflix show You. Fraught, isn't it? Because that's a show about a stalker who becomes a murderer, so another successful American small business. But at first, I thought it was a compliment. I was like, oh, cool, I look like the hot guy from Gossip Girl? And my friend was like, no. You don't look like him. It's not how he looks, it's how he acts. Like his style of stalking. I was really upset, right? So I followed my friend home, and I haven't heard from him since. The comment I get most about my appearance, though, is people will be like, you know what, you look like you could be from, like, right out of the 50s. Okay, yeah, because I'm a person? And there were people in the 50s? Anyone could be from the 50s. What people are saying is like, yeah, but you look like you would have enjoyed the 50s. Like, inadvertently, I feel like people are saying, like, your face reminds me of the patriarchy at its best. Because you got that face of white privilege, but before white guilt, so there's no wrinkles. The wrinkles are coming. They're coming. Everyone here seems to be an age. That's so cool. I can't tell ages anymore. I can't. I got friends in their early 20s. I also have a puppy. You can't tell them apart. All I see are these energetic beings like running around trying to show strangers their tummies. Either way, they're not allowed on the couch. It can be hard to tell what age I am, right? Because puberty let me down. I can't wear a backpack in public. People think I'm running away from home. TSA agents worry about me. I took a plane ride. That's what I call it. I took a little zoom, zoom, vroom, vroom, and I showed the TSA agent a ticket I bought with big boy money, and then I walked away, and as I walked past, they shouted, where are you going? And I said, New York. And she said, by yourself? Right, in retrospect, I kind of think she was flirting with me, but I'm so used to being treated like an unaccompanied minor, I was just like, don't worry, I'm meeting people there. Buddy system, I'll call you when I land. Now, some of you astute observers will be like, you don't look that young. That hairline's boop, 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 moving up. And it's, I need you to know, I make the barber do that. I make him do it. I go in, they're like, where do you want your hairline? Where it naturally is? Here? And I'm like, no. I want to be relatable. Is it working? This is nice. I don't know a lot of you, and I love that. I love strangers. They give me hope. As a kid, they're obviously very scary, because you're just like, oh no, maybe someone will take me away from everything I know and love. But as an adult, you're just like, oh, can you? I didn't know that was an option. I get on the subway trying to make eye contact. I'm like, is it you? Is it you? Somebody take me away. Let's start over, okay? I got my backpack on. I'm ready. I'm all set with family. I'm all good. I've had my fill. I'd say family is my least favorite group project. Because it's like in school, right? There's always somebody who has to do the majority of the work. And it's never dad. It's never the dad. Everyone I know is raised by their mom and executive produced by their dad. You know what I mean? Like, you need him to get the project made, but he isn't, like, in the editing bay, right? He's just showing up at the end of the day like, this is all my money's getting? Another Spider-Man? God. My parents had kids, and just a few of us. Okay. It was me and my older sister. And it's like, I obviously have an older sister, so I dress nice and believe in myself. Like, I didn't have an older brother, I'd be dead. Have you ever heard a younger sibling talk about how they were treated by their older brother? It's horrifying. I'll be talking to my buddy, I'll be like, my older sister and I, we used to play house. My buddy will be like, my older brother and I, we used to play, he left me in the washing machine. For 3 days. And it's like, they're so gaslit, they don't even know that that's wrong. So I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And they're like, no, you don't get it. It was a delicate cycle. He used fabric softener. So actually, I thank him. I thank him for what he did. My brother works in finance now. Can you believe it? It's like, yes, I can. Because it's a predatory industry. So. Are there younger siblings here? Whoa. Wow, way to speak up. Most younger siblings think that's like a trick. They're like, he's gonna give me a noogie. It's crazy. It's annoying being the younger sibling, because parents assign roles on a first come, first served basis. So if you're the youngest, you just get whatever's left. Like, my sister got car sick, so I couldn't. Like, I did, I just wasn't allowed. My parents are like, you can't be car sick, but here's what you can be, accommodating. I really am, you know? Excuse me. There was a lot to accommodate in my family. We were a very anxious group. My first hand-me-down was a Xanax prescription. And yeah, the dosage was a little big, but I grew right into it. We all had our own little, like, flavor of mental disorder, our own little twist. Like, my mom had social anxiety, my sister had general anxiety, and my dad was an optimist. Have you heard of this? What a cruel disorder. No known cure, you know, except for paying attention. Even a little bit, but blinders on for my guy, and we all had issues, or as my dad said, everyone's great. My particular disorder, it was OCD. It was obsessive compulsive disorder. Thank you. That was nice. Everyone was silent at the same time. My OCD wasn't about, like, cleanliness or organization, which is pretty common, but I was just addicted to these little rituals that I thought prevented bad things from happening. So I wasn't washing my hands all the time, but I was like, I'm gonna touch this doorknob 8 times. All right. Now the dog won't die. It sounds weird, yeah, for sure. But I need you to know our family dog is 42 years old. A homeowner, actually. They're doing great. I'm really proud of them. I got my OCD under control now, which is good, but my family's always very concerned that it's gonna come back. So any repeated gesture I do, very scary. So my sister will be like, hey, Lucas, I just noticed you're taking multiple sips of water. That's totally okay, but I did want to check. Is that your OCD? Because I noticed you always look both ways before you cross the street. That's totally okay, but I did want to check. Is that your OCD? Because I know you told me you always put your pants on one leg at a time. That's totally okay, but I did want to check. Is that your OCD? And it's like, no, right? That's how people put on pants. So stupid. And I just always go left leg and then right leg to make sure North Korea never develops long-range nuclear missiles. But she doesn't need to know that. I've been in therapy a long time. Thank you. I first went to therapy in 7th grade. That's like what I did after school. Do you know what my friends were doing after school? Because I don't. I wasn't with them. I was with a 70-year-old man talking about my fears and jazz. We went to family therapy growing up too, which is cool. That's one of those rare times you arrive at the solution because the problem gives you a ride. The therapist was like, "What brought you in today?" I was like, "The things that brought me in today." I'm 12, I can't drive. As a result of being in therapy from such a young age, I feel like I tend to think through what I feel a lot, which is good. But it also means that I get accused of thinking too much. My family would be like, "Hey, you think too much," which is a setup. Because if someone's like, "Hey, you think too much," you're gonna be like, "Well, I'll think about that." And then they've got you. And then you don't get to know, do you actually think too much or were you framed? But I spent a lot of time in my head growing up because we actually weren't allowed to do anything ever for any reason. Like, I would say I was sheltered, but truly I was bunkered. And this is actually my first boy-girl party. It's going pretty good. We weren't allowed to do anything because my mom was a worrier, but not in like a helpful way. You know, like some parents are like, "Don't forget your lunch." My mom would be like, "Don't forget, 30% of accidents happen within a mile of the home." Like her fears manifested as math class word problems. She'd be like, "If you leave the house at 7 a.m. and a train leaves DC at 8 a.m., what time will I be convinced you'll be hit by it?" Immediately. We weren't allowed to do anything to the degree that we weren't allowed to participate in petting zoos. So we just watched. Do you know how sad that is? Just a 4-year-old boy and his 7-year-old sister, just like, "Sister, what do you think fur feels like?" We had those accents too. We were taught the Queen's English in the bunker. But it was nice in the bunker. It was a good life, because my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So when my dad would go to work, we would do nothing. We were like French women on holiday. We'd be like, "What is it you would like to do today?" "I do not know." "Perhaps we could eat some cheese and be a little sad." My mom was a worrier, my dad was a preparer, and that was their balance. He did overdo it a few years ago because he bought all 4 of us grave plots next to each other. What a relief, right? To know that in the end, I'll move back in. Takes a lot of pressure off being successful. Also, I like that story because it shows how thorough my dad is. Because, like, plenty of parents threaten their kids, like, "I brought you into this world and I can take you out." And my dad's like, "And when I do, it'll be to plot B-17. Under the maple, not in the shade, though. Your sister gets the shade." My dad's a very thorough and private man. He doesn't like to share anything. I feel like a lot of dads are very private. You know, it kind of seems like they've all signed emotional NDAs. Like every time a child is born, a lawyer whisks the dad into a side room and they're like, "How do you feel?" And the dad's like, "Joy I could never express." And the lawyer's like, "That's great, because you won't." Like, I'm all for saving the environment, but if we get rid of cars, where will we talk to our dads? The phone? Okay, dreamers. The dinner table? Not sure they're allowed there. My dad doesn't like share anything that's wrong with him, especially medically. Like, I was back home visiting him, and he was in the living room, and he was stretching. And I was like, "Hey, are you stretching?" Because I'm really good at talking to him. And he was like, "Yeah." Because he's great at ending our conversations. And I said, "Well, for anything in particular?" And he was like, "Well, I tore my rotator cuff 5 years ago." It's like, nice. No one knew that. No one knew that. I was like, "How did it tear?" "Under the weight of your secrecy." He doesn't share anything that's wrong with him. He had prostate cancer, and he's totally fine. But he had to tell me, and he was like, "I had prostate cancer, and your grandfather has prostate cancer, so that means you have an increased chance of having prostate cancer." And I was like, I knew we had something in common. Oh, wish it weren't this. Wish it had been sports. Or a TV show. We couldn't have both just liked The Price is Right. That is a show I watched because I thought it'd help my relationship with my dad. Because he was always like, you don't know the value of $1. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah? I bet you don't know the value of this brand new jet ski! The thing my dad and I do have in common is I also don't admit when I'm sick, and I do think that's how I'll die. I'll go to the doctor, they'll be like, you're very sick. I'll be like, nah, and then my gravestone will say, he was. Which will be easy to read, because it's in the sun. I'm just not the favorite child. Yeah. And I know that for a fact, because my dad named a boat after my sister. And he named no boats after me. And he has 2 boats. One's named the Rosie O, the other's just not named. There's a little blank space for what could have been. You know?